G'day, I'm Blake. I'm just going to go through the RPG a day exercise. I just thought I'd go through them just as an exercise to see how we go. Excuse me. Okay, so day one, first RPG I bought this year. That would be Troika. Yeah, independent game, kind of fantasy, alternative world vibes. I like the art. It's very different, very striking. And I can't say it didn't gel in my head, but I'm like curious enough to give it a go. It's like there's something there. I think, yeah, I'd like to try it. It didn't quite gel, but yeah, happy to try it maybe at an online con or something. Try it out. Okay, second one, most recently played Vaesen or Vaesen. It's an excellent game, Victorian era horror. In our case, we're playing in Italy, 1860, but normally it's in Scandinavia. Yeah, really good, fun, evocative game. Okay, third question. Most often played RPG of all time? That would have to be Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition. Played around a lot in the 90s. But in the last decade, Monster of the Week, the PBTA modern supernatural game, always a fun time, easy to run and play. Okay, RPG with great art. The first three a lot of them have good art. It's one of the things that attracts people to games. But the first three that spring to mind are Dragonbane, Spire, and Vaesen. With every picture, they nail like the genre and the tone and style straight away, and it's fairly consistent through each of the books. And every book, it's like pretty much instantly you get an idea for a scene or a location or an event you can do just based on that picture. Really good. RPG with great writing. Okay. Well, yeah, again, like Dragonbane, Spire, and Vaesen, all different games, but just each paragraph, each section is well laid out in a coherent order. They describe the scenes and the sort of the universe well, and makes you want to create stories in that universe, which is the point. RPG that's easy to use, as I mentioned before, Monster of the Week, powered by the Apocalypse, modern supernatural game like X-Files, Buffy, Vampire Slayer, and Supernatural. To me, it should be the entry point for most people that are teenager or older. It is so easy to get the hang of and be up and running within an hour. It is good fun. Okay, RPG with good form. I'm not sure what good form is, other than it does what it says. The label on the tin matches what it delivers. So I would say Dragonbane is a great mix of crunch and story. It's sort of the midpoint for both. All right, up to question 10. Excuse me. RPG you'd like to see that on TV. I'm going to say World of Darkness. Now, before anyone goes, oh no, there was a Vampire Masquerade series by the Spelling Company in the 90s. Not talking about that. That was good and bad. But I'm talking about a longer one with like a werewolf series, a vampire series, a maid series in like a 2 or 3 city area with, going on for a long time. There's plenty of lore there that I could dig into and make some really good stories that would make, rival Game of Thrones in terms of the epicness of it all. Certainly got production ability nowadays anyway. So, all right. RPG with well supported for one-shots. Monster of the Week. Yep. There's a additional book called Tome of Mysteries with a huge pile of plots that you can run easily and drop of a hat. Yeah. RPG with well-supported campaigns. A Delta Green. I've never heard anyone complain about a Delta Green campaign. It's not a fun journey. The characters get screwed up and messed up or killed or tortured or whatever, but the long-form sort of story of them and how where you go from the character starting to the end, everybody loves. Evocative environments. I'm definitely going to go with Spire by Roland Rooker Deckard. Every place has such good names. Every place description really inspires your imagination, makes you want to play or run in that universe. Just wonderfully tragic fantasy rebellion, great stuff. Okay, compelling characters. World of Darkness, I'm going to say, because either with your nature and demeanor or your vice and virtual for your personality traits, it gives your character options in every situation of sort of how I can role play and how I can role play different to how I did last time and how I can interact with other people. So you're not just one dimensional, I hit things or I cast spells or I sell stuff. You know, you've got personality and just from those character traits, that kind of gives you goals and hints at deeper ongoing motivation. So it's great. Okay, great character gear. Honorable mention of Blades in the Dark. There's some neat stuff in each of the playbooks, but if we're just talking about shopping and getting all sorts of gear for every character at Shadowrun, you can't go past it. There's heaps of books, heaps of stuff. Yeah, it is gear for days. Okay, RPG is a role-playing game that is quick to learn. As I mentioned before, Monster of the Week. It is so easy to learn and get the hang of. There's good examples in all the books. It's an ideal entry point for the hobby. As a running it or playing it, it's easy to learn. It really is. It's a tick, tick, tick. Yep, off we go, bang. And there's still options within each playbook. Really easy. So, an engaging role-playing game community. Dragonbane, both in the Discord and the Facebook. Everybody's supportive. They're like, here's what I've done. Here's what the core rules are. Go from there, no matter what the question is. Just really positive, and there's contests and there's supportive group. Memorable moment of play. Trophy gold. I challenged a demon on my own, and I managed to survive long enough for the others to go, maybe she needs some help. I had to help my character survive the battle. But yeah, it was touch and go there for a while. It didn't roll good, but I'm just like, well, this is, this character is powered entirely by ego. This is what I'm going to do. Sensational session. The last session in our campaign of The Between, which is Victorian London monster hunting, based a lot on Penny Dreadful series. We dealt with we tied up 3 rivals or 3 threats in one go, and we saved the country, and my character died but went out fighting. So it was a solid ending to the series, well, to several series actually. Okay, RPG with an amazing adventure. Trophy gold. There's one where we were running around inside of a giant sea serpent, and I mean huge. And we had to deal with the creatures and the threats that were inside the sea serpent. I survived long enough to get out again. So it was kind of survival horror with quite high stakes, because even if we got out, we would have been underwater and surrounded by bad guys. And yeah, it's good fun. Classic campaign. Delta Green, Impossible Landscapes. It's hard to describe, but the journey from where we started sort of investigating some weird stuff to where we ended up. Bizarre, fun, torturous, unexplainable. It's one of those games I don't need to sort of journal or write down, because it's still quite vivid in my mind, even though it was like a year ago at this point. And I think everybody should have a go at Impossible Landscapes if they can at some point. Okay, we're up to 22. And notable non-player character. I was running a game in Greywalk, and the ranger got an animal familiar, and we thought, that's a bit boring. Let's have a veggie pygmy instead. So this veggie pygmy was following him around. He was called Jub Jub. He had a little spear, and he'd go Jub Jub, help him out. And they just thought, oh, he's a loyal little companion that follows him around, talks to them around the campfire and that. But at night, he would creep out and infest his spores in dead animals, or even kill other people or animals, and put these spores in them, because he's a plant. That's what plants do. They expand and propagate. So as they're traveling around, over time, they realize that there's just this growing infestation of veggie pygmies all over the place, because that's just what plants do. And after a while, they figured out that Jub Jub had been quite a naughty boy. But it was quite a good scene. It lasted 6 sessions of it, and they realised what the hell had been going on. Okay, peerless player. It's a weird one to describe. I'm going to go with peerless play. It's weird because it's a cooperative hobby. You need to cooperate to some extent. Like you've got your own goals and direction, but you've got to cooperate with others and allow them to have time to shine and modify what you're doing and what they're doing to make it a joint story. So in a way, it's good to have someone that doesn't need other people, but in a way, it's bad because it's a cooperative story. So, yeah, you want someone that can know the system and know the setting and know the rules or whatever, but you don't want someone that doesn't need anybody else. So it's a balance. It's a skill thing you learn over time playing with these games. Acclaimed advice. Everybody's journey. I think it was John Harper once said that everybody's journey is different. Your process, your method of getting to where you want to do to, release your world or release your module or whatever it is may be different to everybody else's. And if that works for you, that's okay. Everybody's got to walk their own journey. Desirable dice. I'm not a dice person. I know some people really love them. I don't care. They're just, you can roll them. You can do virtual ones. Doesn't bother me. I know some people love the sound and the feel of them. Cool. I'm not one of them, but there's plenty of room in the hobby for everybody, and that's fine by me. Superb screen. I don't really use Superb Dungeon screens or Game Master screens. I prefer like a mat. I have it down here, so there's not like a physical barrier. But I do create like double-sided A4 or letter-sized notes that I laminate, and I can sort of flip over instead of having to go through a dozen PDFs or whatever. But I have seen people use Game Master screens and they put like Master of the Universe, Castle Grayskull on the outside facing the players, and that looks great, I think. Marvelous miniature. Anything that's well painted. I'm not a good painter, but I've seen people that seen people get the magnifying glass and paint them really well. And it's just amazing the level of detail when they can do like the white of the eye, the color of the eye, and the pupil in the eye. That's some spot on detail considering how small it is. So hats off if you can do that sort of thing. Great gamer gadget. Not really into gadgets. So it's nice having web pages. If people forget their dice, you can just go to the web page and get that to roll your dice, I guess. An awesome app. Well, I kind of just answered that. So instead, I'll say this is one of my Monster of the Week shirts, which you get from Redbubble, and there's heaps of games. I have lots of shirts. They're great and they're cheap and they're comfortable. That's a way of saying, yeah, I dig this game. I'll support it. And you take a selfie and you tag the game company that made it, let them know, like, hey, I like what you've done. Give them a virtual pat on the back. So, person you'd like to game with. I don't know, probably writers that I've enjoyed reading, like Neil Gaiman. Yes, first one that comes to mind. Maybe Tori Amos as well. Some sort of modern supernatural game for them might be cool. Game or gamer you miss? I enjoyed playing Shadowrun. There is a lot of crunch to it, but once you're set up and rolling, it's quite fun. Some of the wacky and dangerous situations you get into, it is very action orientated, but yeah, it is good fun. I haven't played that for a while. Yeah, that's it. All right, it's August 2024. Thank you. Happy gaming. Have fun all.